Hi, I'm Amitabh Pandey. I head up the Consumer Insights function for PepsiCo India's food business. I've been with the company for 10 years, and in between I was based out of the UK, looking after the Consumer Insights function for the Quaker Tropicana business, and I returned to India last May after being there for about 2.5 years. If someone wants to leave a mark and leave a legacy and create stuff and 10 years later look back and say, that was me, I think this is the time to be in India. Because, we're in this unique point in time where we are starting lots of things new.
India is exciting. India is full of opportunity today, more than it's ever had.
India is absolutely on fire. That's the best part about India. There's growth wherever you go. There's development at every corner of this country.
Different parts of the country, different kinds of people in the country, different ethnicities, religion, language, income, socio-economic. Everybody's changed very differently over the last couple of years, and therefore it's difficult to say one kind of change. And I think that's what makes India both complex as well as exciting to understand, because there are so many Indias.
You see this amazing display of the various Tropicana versions on the shelves here. You'll realize how different India is from a decade ago.
I think the opportunities to go out and make new things happen and make a big impact on a global level are happening in India, across businesses and particularly in PepsiCo, of course.
The best part about being in India is that we are now, even as consumers, not just people who are working in this country, getting to experience everything that the Western worlds have been living with for so long. So infrastructure, development, things are happening, entertainment, food, beverage, you talk about it, there's possibilities in every corner of India. I think PepsiCo India is exactly like India. It's filled with infinite opportunities for development and growth.
And if you want to sample India in its fullest glory, I think PepsiCo is the place to be.
I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the opportunities and the entire consumption which is actually there. We are still developing. There's a long way to go. We've been seeing that in the last 5 to 10 years, that growth just doesn't let up. Well, at PepsiCo India, we have some really exciting brands. We have some really exciting business levers. But I think what we are doing in the last couple of years is we are truly stepping out to change the game and change the way in which people look at beverages and people look at snacks.
PepsiCo in India, I think, epitomizes the PepsiCo spirit globally. So in India, you've got young and talented people coming in and getting a lot of responsibility early in the day and the ability to make a difference. And that's what makes most of them excited about their jobs every day. So you go out and you make things happen, whether it's on the brand, whether it's on innovation. We do so much of innovation in India, and we're leading the edge on just understanding what value and consumers are all about. The exciting thing about PepsiCo is just the sheer range and variety of things that you do.
The bigger thing is the complete societal transformation, and that's happening in the country right now. India has always been a very diverse country. Even 50 years ago it was a diverse country if you go from the north part of the south, west to the east. So you get to work on very different kinds of environments, different kind of models, and therefore learn very different skill sets and very different experiences. So the way you would speak to the retailer over here and the model that you would get to get our products to this system via the racks or the Visi-coolers would be very different from the way you would if you were speaking to a Walmart or a big bazaar.
India has seen some amazing change over the last 10 years, and what strikes me most is the change over the last 6-7 years since I've been outside of India. And everything has changed. The people have changed, the pace of life has changed, the growth has been amazing. What you see here today in terms of the kind of malls, for example, like the one we are sitting in, the Pizza Huts, the kind of menus, this is typically what New India is all about. So it's modern, but it's still India. New mass rapid transport system, which is the metro railway, which has just come up in the last few years, is a great example of this change. This was built at incredible speed. It serves all of the national capital region, and in fact today there are about 1.2 million commuters using this system every day, and is absolutely an example of what New India is all about.
The best thing about a company like PepsiCo is you can seamlessly move between beverages and snacks, and that really transfers and builds a lot of skills. I think career possibilities now are no longer constrained by a basic regular career path. The very fact that we are getting into different segments which we had never even considered, whether in beverages, whether in snacks, whether in the fact that as we have the mainstream business, we have a value business, we have a premium business, we have brands which are going to operate differently, different algorithms in terms of the way we look at the business. I think it's going to be interesting that people can really move from one to the other, build specific skill sets, come back, get to much larger leadership positions.
Is the state which I head. It's the largest state in the country. There's about 200 million consumers, but it had not grown to the potential where it was. But when I just looked at the assignment when it was offered to me, I thought it was a golden opportunity, and that's what PepsiCo does. It gives you these opportunities, and it's up to you. Actually, how do you make out of it? I think our teams are very good, very energized, very young teams we have. If you see, my average age of my team has now come down by about 8 years, and they're very young, energetic people, very, very driven, very motivated, self-motivated.
It's a young country, and the ethos of the country, even for a 50-year-old, is a 25-year mindset, and that makes it really exciting to be in India, because the ethos, the fabric of the country is young, and therefore what you do is young, and everything that comes from being young, which is energetic and action and music and eating out and having a good time. One of the things that's amazing about India is this whole conflict and contrast and diversity of cultures that kind of exist close to each other, right next to it. So you could be in a place like this, which is the most modern of experiences, the most westernized you can get, with the most modern food courts, international cuisines, top-notch restaurants, and right across the road you could get the most local Indian ethnic food or cultural experiences, and both in a matter of a couple of meters here and there, and both of them kind of being able to sample both of them together in a matter of minutes is what makes the India magic really, really unique.
Our Performance with Purpose agenda is clearly focused on areas where we can make a difference and where our stakeholders expect us to work. The key areas are water management, waste management, carbon mitigation initiatives, and all of these are focused clearly at making tomorrow better than today.
India is also at that meeting point of leveraging the best from across the world, but being able to do what's right for this large population. India is also a great country to be in, because it is just so diverse and interesting, and you've got people from all walks of life, different parts of the country, cuisines, they all come together. So at any point in time, there's just so much happening that it makes it a pretty heady cocktail of work and life, and that's what makes India special.
It's outstanding. You know, PepsiCo, if you talk about the performance part, I think it's flying, it's growing aggressively. We're growing share, growing volume, growing NOBIT. So overall as a business, the performance is outstanding, and it's growing by leaps and bounds by the year. But it doesn't stop only there, because it's also a purpose agenda, and that's something which we all drive very, very strongly across communities, across various outfits where we head and work in. And I think that's something which makes you feel so proud about working for Pepsi. It's not only the performance part, but also the purpose. So when you go into social gatherings and you talk about business, everybody knows about PepsiCo. But you also do a lot of talk about how you feel, and that's when you feel very proud that you're not only a great organization with very, very big, large brands, but there's a lot of work on the communities, the purpose agenda which you're driving, which really makes you feel a very strong part of this company.
Pretty early on in your years, I think you get a lot more responsibility, you get to do stuff which is much more ahead of your years of experience, and that's quite uniquely PepsiCo. Learning and the exposure that comes with it, and the sense of confidence and the sense of leadership, I guess, skills that you develop is just unparalleled.
I think the possibilities are immense. India business has been growing over the last several years. It has really thrown up a lot of new opportunities. The amount of work on building frontline capability and transforming our go-to-market systems, the amount of work on building professional capability through focused capability building courses in technical as well as managerial areas, and finally building our leadership pipeline through a series of academies and interventions which are leader-led but equally world-class in the sense that we draw faculty from all over the world, both internally and externally.
PepsiCo encourages every single person to do from the moment you start is to get out into the market, to get in touch with the reality, to look at how the business is actually built. I always recall the fact that I spent so much of my time in the first year in the field, sitting on a route vehicle, going into outlets, understanding the selling process, building relationships with the trade. I don't think anything substitutes that knowledge, and that's something which is a true hallmark of a great corporation, because it encourages you to go and build specific skill sets at the ground level from day one, instant learning. And I think PepsiCo gives you the challenge to go out there, take up new roles, take up new assignments, develop new skill sets, come back to slightly more broader general management or functional head roles, put all those learnings together and grow. I think there's a lot of personal development, there's a lot of development with respect to the way you grow in the organization. It just comes together beautifully in India, especially with PepsiCo. Growth is absolutely limitless. It's all up to us as to how fast we can explode it and how fast we can take it to different parts of the country. When people come together, and I think that's the strength of a company like PepsiCo, we can really move mountains.
And look forward every day. You know, the big thing which I feel is that every day when I get up, I just feel excited about going to work. I think that's something which I keep telling my wife, my family, that because there are opportunities outside of PepsiCo also, which I'm sure everybody gets those opportunities, but you've never ever considered them because of the culture, the atmosphere of PepsiCo. And it's every day, and you count me on it, and I say every day when I get up, I am so excited to work, and because that's what PepsiCo is all about. Possibilities.
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 Possibilities.